technical difficulty.
Brad is not here tonight. So how are we gonna go
We,
to?
per statute, we put is the next in line to moderate.
All right. Roll call. Campbell.
Here.
Whalen.
Yes.
Shano.
Yes?
Waldy here. And Mr. Eddie is not able to make it because he had surgery last week. We need to approve the minutes from 5/11.
I think we have to modify the agenda. That would be first.
And approve it.
So I make a motion that we modify the agenda. And do I get a second?
What are you modifying? Yeah, what are we
What are we
modifying? What's your
modifying?
I
suggestion?
just want to know that we're going forward with modifying the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a closed session, number 11, that should be moved to the end. So it should be at number,
Al,
by communications,
just
just
above.
before communications. I'm not gonna have all these people sit here.
Right.
And I'm also kind of confused because I see all this that came through from the planning commission, and I see computers. And I don't understand the computers, it's never been discussed. I don't know how it would be on this agenda since it's not been discussed. And to be very blunt, I got my packet just before the meeting, and I don't think that dealing with those items are in our best interest if we haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah, I was trying to make sense of the computer bids as well, and going through them, they seem to be covering different things, all as separate estimates. The first one is saying quotes for PC replacements, which I know we did have to do some about a year ago because they were end of life and they wouldn't take the Windows 11. So it appears as though it's kind of broken down for certain offices.
Well, why don't we leave it on the agenda and discuss it?
Yeah.
And then if we
Okay,
have to,
and
we can table.
yeah, okay.
So Charles, your motion is to move closed session to J. And that was seconded by Lori.
Yes, I guess so.
All right.
So we need to do a vote on.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Do we have to do roll call?
No, you can just do voice vote for that. I would call for opposed just to make sure.
Any opposed?
Yeah.
Let the record indicate there's 48 0 days to move.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, approval of agenda then.
Approval of past agenda.
Motion to approve.
Approval of agenda. You make the motion, Charlie? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you well. I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was that for minutes?
No,
That
That
was-
was for the agenda.
Sorry, it was a little hard to hear.
Approval of minutes.
So 5/11/26 you're looking at, right?
5/11.
Motion to approve 5/11.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It was that, did you guys supposed to know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Approval of minutes from 6/8.
Any motion to approve 6 minutes?
I second that.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fire department?
Nope, public comment.
Public comment, 2 minutes.
I don't even know if it's turned on, is it?
I get it off. Okay. Can you hear me?
It doesn't blow this out.
It don't work?
No, well, it's for recording, it's not actually for amplifying.
It's just for recording, doesn't it?
Well, how about the people? You got
Can hear
a mic here?
I can hear
They can hear you.
I got a
Almost.
big mouth.
You got a big strong voice.
I didn't know that. Anyway, Ken McConnell, 760 South Mackinac Road. And I'm not really surprised that 15, 20 people lost their jobs here, maybe more. The township don't like to get rid of them, even though they were qualified, they got in here, and they're gone now. They've lost their jobs. Just lost one here a month or so ago, less than that. And it's interesting because why did they lose their jobs? I can tell you why. Either harassment, or bullying, or they're not yes people. If you're not a yes person, you're gonna go down the road. Happens here all the time. That's really sad, in case you didn't know it. A lot of things have happened. A while back, the board decided to have extra meetings for extra money. Let's have extra meetings. Let's do our bills on another meeting. I brought that up to them. All of a sudden they stopped. No more meetings. Isn't that interesting? Because it's all about money. It's not about the taxpayers. It's about money. You got high-priced lawyers. I'm sure he's a part of the family. He wouldn't be here. If you're not a family member and you work here and you don't say yes, you're gone. 15, 20, 25 people. The board is probably proud of that. I'm sick to my stomach about it. These people want extra jobs for extra money, but they're gone now. Who cares? The board don't care. They got more coming, more are gonna leave. It's really a sad, sad world. And they know that, and they don't care. Obviously, they keep them on. But I do it again, if they're interested and got a job, they're qualified, why get rid of them? Why? Because they don't like them, but they're not yes people. They said the wrong thing, just get rid of them. And the board probably proud of getting rid of them. That's their agenda, get more people fired, so they can keep on. It's a sad, sad world. And they know it, and they don't care, obviously. So the world's going bad. The country's the same way. It's going to crap, same thing. And it's really sad, as you can tell. And I'm totally disgusted. The corruption goes on here. Thank you.
Amen.
Thanks, Ken.
Did you give your address, Kenneth? Did you?
Yes, he
You
did.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you
Yes.
got it.
Jeremy Bloom. First item on the agenda, Planning Commission. Was kind of concerned to hear Trustee Campbell state that he didn't know anything about this, just got the packet given to him when he got here for this meeting. We as the Planning Commission worked on this for months and it's been forwarded to the board for 3 months. No excuse not to know. Second thing, cemetery maintenance cleanup. My mother that sits over there visits the cemetery daily to see her deceased son, fallen soldier. Memorial weekend, she raked leaves up. That pile's still sitting there. Our lawn care company that we pay for must not be doing their job. Once, like Ken said, friends and family, Charlie's family, not doing their job but getting paid. So, more to come.
Thank you.
In the cemetery, just like the weather, I've cleaned up my leaves in my yard now 9 times. And every time the wind blows, leaves come down. That doesn't mean that the people aren't working. And I'd like to know where you can go and quit your job and then go back later and say, I want my job back. Or better yet, have the board where you work not get the proper vote because they were misled in a different direction, and all of a sudden there's a mountain out of a molehill. The woman quit. Leave it alone.
Sir, can you introduce yourself? please?
James Campbell, 885 Mackinac Road.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you. Melissa Enfield, I'm at 201 West Maple in the village of Linwood. And per a lot of Jeremy's comments here, I've seen over the last several months multiple opportunities for me to speak to a lot of the residents and a lot of the business owners there in the village. And one thing has become increasingly clear, and that the mixed use district, the accessory structures proposals, all of those things, those are solving problems not just for my family. We're talking about solving an issue that exists throughout the village for multiple property owners. in fact, most of the property owners.
You're here.
A lot of the homes and businesses along that village corridor, they've existed longer than the current zoning ordinances. And as a result, a lot of those long-established properties don't fit neatly within those zoning classifications, those easy classifications. So a lot of them are non-compliant, and that is not the fault of the property owners. It reflects the fact that our community has changed, while the ordinances haven't changed to reflect that. And the property themselves aren't the ones that are responsible, but they are the ones that have to carry the burden of that non-compliance, okay? Recognizing that the township itself has invested taxpayer dollars to hire planning professionals to review the zoning ordinances and recommend updates. The zoning administrator, the planning commission, and the consultants have all devoted significant time and expertise to that work, all of which started, as far as I know, before my family even moved to the area, okay? And their recommendations for the mixed-use district is intended to bring the ordinances into better alignment with just the reality of what the community does and lives on a day-to-day basis. And what concerns me is that despite months of study and repeated public discussion, and I know there's been public discussion because I've participated in those,
Yes.
I understand that legal review has its place, okay? I understand that there are certainly times where that's appropriate, but there also comes a point where the township has to rely on the professional work that it's already commissioned and move the thing forward. And every additional delay carries a cost. And aside from the legal fees themselves, it creates uncertainty for the residents, uncertainty for the businesses. It requires additional taxpayer resources. I think a lot of the residents at this point are all asking the same question. At what point do we start making the decisions and moving the thing forward? And the principles that our country was founded on is explicitly, like, one of the foundational principles, no taxation without representation. And ultimately, that has to do with public trust. And the principle of public trust is especially important here at the local level. Because here, we are not one single voice among millions. Here, we are neighbors, we are friends, we are family members. We ought to be able to have our voices heard.
Yes.
And we ought to be able to trust that our elected officials are exercising good judgment, being good stewards of taxpayer resources, and remaining accountable to those same people that saw them elected. So over those last several weeks and months, I've spoken with a lot of residents, and we don't always agree on every single issue, but I keep hearing the same concerns. People want timely decisions, they want transparency, and they want confidence that their participation in the local government actually matters, okay? So public trust grows when the residents can see that their concerns are heard, that professional recommendations are given meaningful consideration, and the elected officials are willing to make good decisions and even the hard decisions in a timely and transparent manner. The members of the board are called trustees because you are entrusted with those responsibilities. But that trust erodes when we see obstruction, when we see favoritism, when we see fiscal irresponsibility, and it erodes trust when we as taxpayers work hard to use those proper channels and use the appropriate resources, and then turn around and hear rumors that our efforts are being blocked due to communication that's happening behind closed doors, or worse, being mischaracterized as collusion. So I'm respectfully asking the board to evaluate the mixed-use district and all of the other proposals that come before you on their merits and on the recommendations of the professionals around you and on the recommendations of the public that you serve. Thank you.
You're here.
Yes. Way to go.
Ken McConnell, 760 South Mackinac Road. I got 35 seconds yet. So I'm gonna use them up. All the people have lost their jobs that needed that job. I want them to come back here and explain to the taxpayers why they're not here today.
Yeah,
All the reasons why they're not here.
right?
Some crazy reasons that one person only on the board, get rid of them. Happens all the time. It's ridiculous. All these people lost their jobs. That is extra income are done. So I appreciate anybody you know that has no job here anymore. Have them come up and explain to the people why they're not here anymore. I really like to see that.
Yep,
Thank you.
that would be nice.
Thanks, John.
Suzanne Gammon, 1139 Beach, Colin. I just have a question. That mixed-use district, proposal, is that published on the website for Crow Calling? Can we look at it
It
and
was
read it?
listed as a draft.
Listed, okay, thank you very much.
Justin Enfield, 201 Mabel. I'm glad my daughter fell asleep. Because I should have felt really proud this week because we represented our neighbors at the zoning commission, the road commission. And I get home and I hear that one of the people here decided that they believed that there was some kind of collusion going on. And there was lack of transparency going on. So I would like the community to see what collusion looks like. I have 9 children, number 10 on the way. We want this village mixed use district so that we can do chickens and rabbits. We have 2 acres. We came from the Ann Arbor area where they can have 8 chickens on 0.25 acres. We want to teach our children food independence. Because you know what? The price of, you guys bought hamburger lately? I want to have meat rabbits. I want to feed my family and teach my kids how to take care of that so that they're not farming it out to someone else and they just push a button and they get it. Do you understand how that's transparency? How I have come to public demonstrations here, public engagement opportunities, but in between these kind of meetings, we're trying to shut down communication between government and citizen. And that's inappropriate on every level, That is not appropriate at all. And to get a communication that that's happening in this taxpayer-funded office, it sounds like it's an oligarchy and not a representation. So I'm really expecting a formal apology. I'm expecting something in writing that demonstrates a repairing of that betrayal of trust of the citizen. Because Thomas Jefferson said that the agrarian lifestyle is the bedrock of America. Not industry, not foreign imports. Taking care of yourself is what we should be teaching our children and our children's children. And we should be able to use our land to do that. And if it means I can put a shipping container on my 2 acres to take care of my homestead, that's not a business, it's a homeschooling opportunity for my kids to learn how to thrive. They're here because instead of this homesteading opportunity that I wanted to have, it's now a civics lesson. So they get to see what happens when disordered government comes in, creates an oligarchy where the citizen is afraid to try, because as I was walking up to the mic, somebody said, I ain't going up there to face retribution. Well, bring on retribution. Anybody that has a problem with that, with farming, raising your kids to farm, to know that eggs come from chickens and not Meyer. I'd rather say, kids, go take care of the egg producer and have them have that as a responsibility for their life. And then I want them to come up here and work in our local government, work with our elected officials to represent us. That is the foundational principles of America that we've lost. And look at the chaos that's going on in our world. I'm a Charlie Kirk conservative. I want to take care of America. I want America to grow back great. That's all I should say.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
I got 10 seconds left. Can I talk? Something you people don't know, and the board knows it, that most companies you work at get a week's vacation, 2 weeks vacation. Here they take all they want. They can take 4 weeks, 5 weeks, all year round. Nobody says a word because they don't care about the township. They care about taking a vacation and get paid for it.
Yeah.
That's really sick. Thank you.
It
Time's
just
up.
happened, we know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I don't want to walk all the way over.
You're trying to speak
Just
loud.
speak from there.
All right. I'm Heidi Zappaloo. I'm at 111 Guy Street. I appreciate that a lot of people are here from Maple Street, because that is one of the concerns I have with them trying to petition to take it away and deadlock my lands. And also about Linwood, Lindog, trying to take 300 foot from the area. So now I got my land attacked from the front and the back. And I've been paying taxes since 1995, so I don't know what is going on here. But that's a major concern of mine. It really is. Thank you. How's that work?
How are we doing something to you?
Point of
It
order.
was for a 300 foot.
Point of order, point of order.
I'm out of time.
Yeah.
Public comment? Anybody else with public comment?
Going once, going twice.
Okay, I got 5 seconds left. Can I speak?
Yeah.
No, that's
I
enough.
can't speak.
We wanna hear it.
It's public place. I can't use my 5 seconds up? I got one quick question.
They won't answer it. No, they
Huh?
won't, they won't answer it.
Well, no, I'm just curious. This private session is right in the middle of the meeting, so all people got to sit here.
No, they
After
moved
all-
it to the end. They
I
moved
don't
it
see
to
it
the
on
end.
here.
No, they moved
They
it
just moved
in the
it when they did
agenda.
the
Oh,
agenda
they changed the
back
paper
Yeah.
just for us.
They
Thank
amended
you, I didn't know that.
All right. Department committee reports. Chief? Fire department. Oh, the first thing I have is in the new business, so I'll skip that. Engine 14, I had a low tire on engine 14 on the 20th. Turns out it had a bad valve, but also tearing the tires off. They're due this year, so the guy that worked on the tires said run them to the end of the summer, but come fall, I'll have to start shopping for tires for that truck. Which I got a couple places that I can go to look for tires for that truck. The new HG that we ordered back in whatever is here, so it was exactly 6 months like they said it would take to get. I have some pagers I need to send in and get repaired. I got 4 or 6 of those that need to get repaired. Blood drive, we had 15 people. We had 6 personnel from the fire department that participated, which was more than the other ones. Looking at ordering a paint sprayer on Amazon, takes a DeWalt battery, so when we go out and do hydrants, if we need to repaint hydrants, whatever, I think it's about 47 bucks, the last one I looked at, so. There's a washout on the main drive of the fire department, which, when they replaced that cross tube 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, there was a washout, so they repaired it all. Well, now there's a hole there again, and I go out and check it, and it's getting worse, so we're gonna have to figure out where the dirt's going. The phone in the squad room, Lori and I already talked about that. We gotta fix that. That doesn't work. August 24th, I'll bring it up again at the next meeting, but we're gonna have a car seat safety inspection here from 11 till 2. We'll be at the fire station. There'll be certified people here for to put car seats in and have your car seats checked. That's just on the docket. I'll get an email out to you, but I did speak with Brad and I spoke to Lori when they were here, reference Garfield Township. As most of you know, their fire station burned down. They had contracts with Beaver, they had contracts with Mount Forest. Their current contracts are up. I think Mount Forest is going to continue to service them, but Beaver gave them some numbers to cover them for medicals, fires, or a monthly fee that I don't think they're gonna. I have a number in mind. I think we can do the same number that Mount Forest is doing if they need us. I'm not going to charge them for running the structure fire because they're going to call us anyway. And I would expect that they do the same for us if we need them. I spoke to the chief and let him know if it's a medical and they call for us, it's mutual aid. If it's a medical and they don't show up, we're going to have to bill them for it, which he completely understands. I have a number. I'll get it all put out in an email and get it to you. I told Brian I'd bring it up tonight. That will more than cover what we have for personnel and fuel costs for the truck. I mean, they run on the average maybe 10 calls a month, so we're not going to be running out there 14, 15, 16, 17 times a month like we were with the neighbors to the north. So I'm not concerned about it, but I think it's the right thing to do if they need the help. I don't think it's not their fault that their station burned down. They do have a rescue truck up and running, but they won't have any engines simply because they have nowhere to go. So once I get something all wrote up and in better, I need to talk to Louis from Mount Forest, then I'll get an email out to all of you so you have it. I think that's it. BioCare's coming up here in September, but we schedule that every year for our physicals, so that'll be done. Full-time guys are working out well. It's been a grind here the last 2 months, to be honest with you. We've had our fair share of bad days, to say the least. The guys are getting through it. We're all through it, but since May we've had a pretty tough stretch. So, but everybody's good. We're keeping an eye on each other, and I'm keeping an eye on them. But we've had a pretty tough stretch here since May. So hopefully the black cloud dissipates and moves elsewhere, just dissipates altogether, but that is all that I have.
I got another email today that there was another payment that came through. Did you see that?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. So the PA fire recovery we did, I think we've gotten 3 checks from them already. So sometimes it's not all of what we want, but they're getting what they can out of it, which is, takes a lot out of mine and Lori's issues to be chasing these people around. They do all the chasing. They have much better contacts to get with insurance companies and things like that. So at that point, we just need to sit down and when we get payments for things, figure out where we're gonna divvy up things at. Because obviously sometimes it doesn't cover wages and the trucks, so, but we'll figure that all out. But we are getting money from them, and I mean, we've only been at it 2 months, I think, and we've gotten 3 or 4 payments already, so.
I think it's up to 4, right?
Yep, I get an email, says we got money back, they tell us how much money they got back, and at the end of every month, they send us a check. So, we take their 15% out, and we get it, so
And then
I think it's working.
Well, I think because of the system we were working with internally prior to that, we'll have several others that we can do some back billing on, so we should be able to
Yeah,
give
there's
them
a,
the second bite at the apple on
statute
that.
of limitations up to 3 years, so whatever you give me for the last 3 years, I can start entering the stuff in, and if we get stuff back from it, then that's just a bonus for us.
Exactly.
So, but that's working well. Otherwise, everything else is good. Trucks are running, boys are running, we're at 35 calls for the month already, I think, so, yeah, we're busy. That's it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff's report. Looks like last month there was 213 calls. I got calls. 56 traffic stops. 18 reckless drivings.
Yeah.
11 well checks. 7 follow-ups.
How about from here, Charlie? How many calls were made from here?
I wouldn't know, I didn't make one.
There was a lot made, because you called on me. You
I-
did, but
It's
the other
not part of the
gentleman did.
report.
Point of order.
It's not included in the report we get from the sheriff's department.
Right, but those should be noted, how many calls came out of here to call on a citizen.
The only way that can be noticed is if you call Central Dispatch and flag yourself, and they'll let you know exactly where the call came from, what it did. The sheriff's report does not reflect where calls came from, it only reflects the calls that were made in the township.
And it could have been MSP instead of sheriff.
Yeah.
The reports only reflect calls that were done in the township, it doesn't reflect where the calls came from.
We have a Parks and Rec.
I think it came in right to, but it's not in the packet
Not
because
in the packet.
it came in so late, so I guess we'll have to forward that to next meeting.
Building report.
Troy's in the hall, ask him.
Troy?
Building report and then zoning.
You're up to bat.
Ready for your zoning report, sir.
Good evening, folks, and welcome. It's nice to see all these beautiful smiling faces.
Gotta speak loud.
All right, well, I kind of have a cold, so I do the best I
Get
can.
better.
yourself.
All right. Zoning citations, we had 2601, 1327, and 24 Fraser Road, and 2601 East River Road. We went to the home, talked to the owners, got them to work with us, and it worked. We didn't go to the attorney, go to court, so we saved 2 lawsuits on that one. We had Guy Street, 111 Guy Street, junkyard cars and yard debris. That lady worked with me also. 2220 Mosier Road, grass up to your knees. The gentleman, senior adult, had car collection laying all over. He made a serious difference out there. We had 2 home garage permits issued this month. We met on 333 South Middle Beach for a garage, 24 by 36. The DTE, I called them 7 times. That's the property on Huron Road. That's just whatever. We're gonna come back to that one, so don't go too far. Marijuana complaints, I have had one. I called the marijuana factory. The gentleman was very kind and polite and educated me how they don't use outdoor air. So that issue was addressed. We had one come in on 7 Mile and Parish. This was a 40-year mess. I spoke with the mother who's in a wheelchair. This is her son's doing. They were all given 2-week notices, so we're like a week into it. So they will be, I will visit them again. 1039 Brissette Beach reached out to me. I put 127 miles of driving on the car this month, looking at these properties. I've been back not once, we've been back 3-4 times. Worked with title company, deed and building violations on a property on Weathers Road that was sold for cash. With that said, I'd like to thank Crawcollin Township staff for working with me. All the people reached out, the phone, the computers, the copy machine, the telephone, you name it, you guys did it for me. Now, before I run, we're going to touch one more. I would like to ask the trustees, we have 3 properties that I can't reach. Abandoned properties, grass is beyond belief. One house is on Marion Street off of Cottage Grove. It's a fire hazard. And just that alone, I believe I should have the right to call and get 3 bids for a cut and crew to go clean this place up. The house next door, there couldn't be 7 feet between the house. And it's a definite fire hazard. And I was told these people live in Possibly, Virginia, and I have not been able to reach them. And the boy on Huron Road where the junk truck is, the defunct factory that should be torn down, he cannot be reached. Supposedly he's from Frankenmuth. And I have tried, I have a list of how many times I've called them. Then the DTE place, I've reached out to them 7 times, today included, and we're getting 0 response. So I would like to know from the township trustees if you will entrust in me to get 3 bids per property, cut the grass, put the bill on their tax roll, and call it a day. And I bet, hang on a minute, I bet once we put the cutting bill on the tax roll one time, I bet you next summer we won't have these issues again.
Okay, so we'll double check on the new weed and grass ordinance that we passed, make sure that that is fully in effect, and that should give you that ability. But before we do that, let's you and I sit down and we'll look at some of those, because I have a little different piece of information because of what I do. So let's have that conversation and then we'll move forward with that.
Thank you for the, anybody got comments, questions? I'm right here.
That's all the zoning complaints that you've received?
I'm sorry?
That's all the zoning complaints you've received since taking over?
Oh, there's a few more.
Okay.
But I'm being kind on them, Jeremy. So don't leave without seeing me.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. No supervisor's report.
No, we didn't receive the.
Did you do the building report?
Yeah, we did look at it.
Yeah, we looked at it.
I think that we've been just
I
doing
don't
them
have a copy
all.
of the supervisor's report.
No, it's not provided.
Treasurer's report?
I think we should probably do a vote just to accept the department committee reports real quick before we move forward.
All right, motion to accept.
Second.
Go ahead, you're fine.
All in favor?
Aye. And no supervisors.
Lori?
All right, so you guys did all get your copy of the treasurer's report. 3 pages. We did have a little, well, we had a maturity that came in, so there's actually a balance that was added, doing really well on the investments, continue to do well. Everything else worked out pretty well. Obviously, tax bills went out timely, Despite a little bit of a holdup with 4029s from some of the entities, we were able to get the bills out timely, all the same, while still complying with the statute. And everybody should have received them. Payments are starting to come in. Typically, the summer season starts a little slower than winter does. Winter hits pretty hard. A little slower start to summer, but payments are starting to come in. Any questions?
Motion to accept treasurer's report.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, I'm sorry.
That's roll
call,
to money.
sorry.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Campbell,
Yes.
Shano,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Walden, yes. All right, bills. Wonderful. My personal favorite time of the month. They are higher than I would like right now, but it is what it is. Well, one reason why they're a little bit higher this month is because I also included all of June's bills and part of July's bills into this. So,
I see the bill folder, we'll put in 24 No, the bill folder, sorry.
The end of June bills, because we did pay bills
yeah,
in June.
it's part of June, some of June bills and some of July's.
I'm just clarifying that. The only bill I question that's not here is we have to get something straightened out with John Hamm.
I have not seen anything from them.
Well, they
I know.
technically don't send. They do not send the bill because our payroll automatically tabulates the 2%, which we're supposed to take and send off to them.
For EFT, yep.
Did I just miss the big one commission down here?
No, it's in there.
It's just got missed.
Because they billed us $807.24 that they said they weren't gonna bill us for.
Right.
And that was for gravel and repairs to Seidler, which was not an authorized road for them to tear apart.
Okay, so it looks like it's an address on Bowtel, which made me kind of wonder, do you know what that is?
No, I don't remember right off, but it's in there.
Oh, and they did, actually, this answers the question we were looking at, Brian, because the 30,000 is listed right here as if that it was taken off.
Building better roads.
Okay, so this bill is actually the same thing that's on the agenda, because it was obviously already completed, Bowtel.
Right.
And so they took that Building Better Roads off of that, but I do believe that that was figured into the contract that was actually signed after approval by the board.
Which we have to get that clarified.
Yeah, I think that's,
Because we deducted it from the contract that we approved.
right,
And this is to pay for what we didn't approve.
correct. Okay, so, because they've already applied that, I mean, the contract that we signed had it taken into
I
account
think it
as
did.
well. I mean, because the amounts actually were fitting with what we had submitted to them. So, I'm a little concerned about that, because that would actually take one of those up $30,000 beyond what was approved already.
That's why I sent out the email as to knowing what the balance is
Okay.
on that budget. Because if we don't have enough in the budget fund for the road commission, then that's a problem. And I know that was sent out late, but that was a question that was brought up in last month's meeting. Where's the budget and where are the dollars at? And that is the supervisor's office to provide that.
Well,
Well, it is, because that's how that all comes out is, Greg
for
put that together.
for now,
And
we'll just take this out of the bills.
You really can't do that, because it's actually already past due. So if you deduct that full bill out of there, you'll be getting a call from the road commission, we'll be having a special meeting.
Okay.
And we can't afford that.
I am concerned about the build better roads aspect here, because I think, I mean, we were very specific in the minutes that we just passed about the exact amounts that were approved for the road commission.
So chances are, we're gonna end up owing $30,000 more
Right.
On the next invoice,
on the next invoice.
but I'd rather owe it there than end up in a problem
Okay,
with the,
so your intent, if I understand your argument, is that we are going to pay the amount that is listed on the bill that we have the contract for a new business. That we're going to approve that for the amount that they show, and then we deal with the Build Back Better later, which is absolutely gonna change what the approved amount was.
because if Jim did that in the new contract, I can ask him about it next Wednesday, if we can't get that answer in office.
Okay. And then Sidlers, but they obviously made that agreement that they weren't gonna charge us for that. So we did not approve for that amount, obviously, right?
And we can deduct $807.24, because he said he would gravel that road for free.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and that was documented, that he said there would be no charge
It's in
to
the
us.
whole paperwork.
Yeah, so,
So that could be deducted, but other than that, we would send them a check for that invoice less $807.24.
no. Because the contract
Something
that
that
we
they'll ask
have.
the lawyer. We're paying for one here. He's got the answer.
Oh, and we're discussing right now. So I think that,
You're lost.
no, we're clarifying.
Point of order.
Exactly. So what the contract said was actually 108 on here. And then it brought it down to 77. So that bill, I don't believe that bill matches what the contract said. That's what's giving me pause.
It's lower.
Yeah, I think it is. No, I misread it.
Contract was lower, or you're saying the bill was lower?
I'm saying the contract actually had the 30,000 off it as an estimate, and it brought it down to that 77 amount. Hold on, I'll
But
pull
the
this
actual
later.
bill itself is 48.7.
Yeah, that's,
So it would have been 70, roughly
yeah, it was still 77 after.
77,000.
So it says here, 105,847, then 30,000 for building better local roads, and then it says 75,847 for total estimated share. And then they came in at 77, and then they took the 30,000 off, which took it down to 47.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that we are being asked to approve a contract with a surcharge on it, right? That is a higher amount of money, and sign that contract, and then they're billing us for an even lower amount. Because of the actual expense.
The first was the assumed cost of the project.
Right, exactly.
So yes, the project came in almost $30,000 less.
Right. Yeah, I get that. I
But
just
then
wanted
they
to
gave
make
us
sure.
building better roads,
Right.
because every township got it.
Yeah, that just kind of throws the numbers off a little, so I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, and then, this, Department of Treasury, this was after the first quarter report, that this was the remainder that was owed, right? That's what I thought. So that was June and July for July, right? 'Cause that's about
Yes,
what it's
yes,
doing, that's
yes,
what I kind
yes.
of thought that was the case, okay,
Because the bill came in today, I said I did to it.
right. All right. So this is the total amount here for plan.